Hey guys, and welcome to game number 18 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top Woogles.io online Scrabble bot, HastyBot. The series is now 9-8 in my favor. We've gone back and forth. I started really strong, and then HastyBot stormed back, and I'm coming off of a really clutch win in game 17, so definitely check out that video if you haven't seen it already. But we'll see in game number 18 whether HastyBot draws back even or if I can extend my lead up to 2. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to open with a bingo of Aquatone through this T immediately. And let's see, what is next? Now I actually have to think. We have Upland and a T. So we could just play Upland through this A. It's not bad. It scores 24. AT is a solid leave. So that's certainly an option. It's worth looking to see if we have anything better. Maybe something through this U with, like, Def? Probably nothing that's worth playing. Don't think we have anything with Eft. That's going to be good. Do we have anything? Yeah, I definitely don't want to play Quant. That takes an A and an S. That's too risky at this point. Maybe something to this Y could be okay, too. Yeah, I don't really see anything that exciting. Probably just Upland is fine here. I mean, it scores 24, blocks some stuff, keeps pretty well. So, yeah, I think it's reasonable. Let's go ahead and do that. Wow. Okay, a lot happened there. So he bingoed with Ciliated, and we have picked up both blanks. So now the question is, do we bingo or do we like hold off and play something like knit? I'm pretty sure knitted is, I don't like this at all. I think it's just tinted. Yeah, I'm pretty sure knitting is no good. So if knitted were good, that would almost certainly be worth it, but I'm pretty sure it's not. But like, do I play knit for 30, keeping ADT double blank, or do I just bingo with presumably something like Dictated and take my 77 points and move on? Yeah, this is kind of a close one. 47 just seems like a little too much to me to give up immediately. I know I keep 2 blanks, and I'm gonna presumably bingo next turn, but like, I don't know, I could still draw TV and it might not be so easy or something like that. I think I generally lead in these situations toward just taking the bingo while you can. 47 is just a lot to give up, and I mean, I could easily draw something like knit next turn. I feel like I'm better off just bingoing. And if I do, Dictated looks perfectly fine. I'm not actually seeing anything else right off the top of my head that goes to that D. And there's nothing really wrong with Dictated positionally. I guess maybe this Dictated is maybe a little better, though. Just sort of pushes everything to the right. Although, I mean, I'm not going to really be winning by much. I'll be up 27 and it'll be his turn, so I'm not really sure it matters all that much whether I play more open or closed here. In general, I think against HastyBot, though, I prefer closed board just because he doesn't play as well on them. So against some opponents, I'd probably play it on the left, but against an opponent that's like all word knowledge and no strategy, I think I will probably play this way. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bingo here, guys. I don't think I don't want to just play net. I'm gonna take my points. Okay, and we're close to stuff here. We'd have Wargamer with an A and Wormgear with an O. No such luck, though, on either floater, unfortunately. So Gop, probably? Can't remember. Is Gopper good? I kind of think it is. Yeah, I think Gopper is good. Let's go ahead and play that. Okay. Yeah, that was clearly better than Gop, just to get rid of the R and score a couple more points. Yeah, I'm glad it was good. I was pretty sure, but that would have been a very painful loss of a turn if it wasn't. Okay, what do we do here? This is a decent looking rack. We've got a little bit of a lead, but not much of a lead. We could just blow everything up with Hogmane, which I'm not dying to do. I don't feel a need to open that much for him. Do I have anything here? Maybe I have to be an M there. I don't think. No, Maho. Don't believe I have anything there that looks great. Manga. No, I kind of like to get rid of this G. I feel like this is a pretty strong rack. I should have something decent, but maybe I just don't. Most have Mahjong, which would be epic, but unfortunately not. Do I just play Hogmane and blow it all up? It doesn't feel right. I can't imagine. Yeah, I'm not going to play something over here. There's just nothing that seems worth playing. Am I better off just playing home, though? This might be better. I mean, just because there's so many eyes. If I get an eye, I have a really good chance at bingoing. I don't love giving back that X spot, though. Yeah, you know, if I'm going to do that, I should definitely play here. Yeah, this actually looks like a good play. It's 2 less points, but it gives back a lot less, and with as many eyes as they are, A and Rang is a pretty strong leave. So it's not like that exciting or satisfying a play. It doesn't accomplish much other than really just keeping a good leave, but I mean, there's no blanks or anything that exciting to go for here with Hogmane, so and I don't want to give him all those floaters if I don't have to. So I think this is better. I do still have a small lead. Yeah, I have a funny feeling I may be missing something, but I guess I have plays like Ham here too, right? Huh, 27. Is that better? Panic? Huh. ARGN is just so much better than ORGN. There's so many O's. I think I'd rather just do this. I don't know. It's probably not a great play. But I also don't want to spend too much more time. I've already thought a lot on this turn. I just feel like with all those E's and I's, like A and GR is a really good leave. I feel like I have a good chance to bingo next turn. I'm going to go ahead and play this. We'll see if it works out. Okay, so I got an S. Unfortunately, just didn't get any vowels, which I really needed. So, yeah, Stranger, Regrants, Granters, nothing with an A. So not going to bingo here. Starring, no, okay. Probably want to just get rid of GR, GRN. What do we do? I do have the S now for wins, which is nice. He made a cool play of Vermouth, getting rid of a bunch of consonants. So, I mean, I could just play Rag and go in full fish mode, which isn't crazy. I could, it's either that or like a sort of hybrid play, such as Rang, that also kind of blocks the top. So the question is, do I want to keep the top open or no? Overall, I mean, Rag has a lot higher bingo percentage. He probably doesn't have that string of rack after Vermouth, so I'd probably rather give myself more opportunities. Also, the possibility of hitting I and G if I can get an I. So I'm kind of leaning towards Rag or Gar. It doesn't really matter. Just to really bump up that bingo percentage as much as I can. I just need to draw one vowel, and I'll almost certainly be bingoing, I would imagine. Yeah, it's a little fishy for my taste, typically. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. Play Gar. Okay, so that will work. We will be bingoing. But now I'll be almost certainly using this right-hand side. So we have Atoners, Senator, Santoro, and Treason. I think probably just Senator is going to be best. Or Treason. Doesn't really matter. We don't have anything that overlaps more. on stream would be cool to this M, but I clearly am going to be bingoing here. I think treason, just with the 2 consonants and 2 vowels next to each other, is a little harder to overlap, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. Okay, we have for C. Does it not go down? For C and for C'er? Nope, I don't think so. Huh. Okay, so we're up a bit. Not much, though. We're not up that much. I don't have much up here, like through this G or this A. I'm not up enough to be going all defense at this point. So probably just Fen. Scores well, keeps a pretty good leave. Wouldn't mind getting rid of another vowel, just with it being a little vowel heavy. Kef doesn't do anything better. I don't think it's worth it to sack the points with Fee. Yeah, probably just Fen. It's not that exciting, but scores well. Keeps the pressure on. I think it's fine. Oh, that's a cool little play there. Out reason. I didn't think of that, but that's clever. It's a nice way to dump a few vowels and nab 27 points. Have to imagine, yeah, we can't use this spot with the X. I have to imagine just Kex is fine. Scores 31. Now I'm putting myself in the position after Kex where I feel like, unless he bingos, I really should be winning. Is it worth sacking to play Ox, though? It just may be. Because, I mean, an ING bingo is not that unlikely, and it's a great way for him to get back in the game. Yeah, I kind of think I should sack here, because... I mean, if I just play Ox, I'm also keeping nice scores with, like, RE for next turn. Like, I have a strong lead. How is he going to make back 32 points on this board? It's very unlikely he's been going to this L or this M. I mean, it could happen, but it's so much less likely than an ING bingo, which is going to be tough for me to overcome after Kex. Yeah, I kind of feel like I should just give up some points here and try to block. I don't, unless he bingos, I don't see myself losing this game on this board. I really don't. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, and he plays Brim, which he probably has to do. And, I mean, I have over C. If he bingos out, I could be in trouble. The good news is, though, he can't bingo out next to it because there's no 2s with a V. So he'd have to bingo with, like, in close next to Brim, which, I mean, it could happen. And I think that would be enough for him to win. Yeah, because that would be 75. Yeah, it would be enough. I mean, I'd probably just have to bingo, though, anyway, because... I mean, is not bingoing, like, worth actually considering here? Probably not, right? I mean, it's actually pretty tough for him to bingo right now. So, like, I could conceivably actually do this. I could actually do this. Because I know it looks crazy. But, like, I'm going up 34. I'm not going to lose in an endgame. There's no way. Even if I draw 3 eyes, I think I'll be okay. I guess I do have to worry about potential setups, but I have an S. Are there 9s to the GO? Probably not. Like, I'm running out of time, too. I just feel like after over C, I mean, is there anything else he can have, though, other than in close? Yeah, I guess he'd have to end in SE. There really isn't much. Lionize. You know, there's enough things, though. Because he's just not bingoing anywhere after this. I'm going to play Vo. I think it's a better play. Yeah, I'll be able to outrun this. I mean, I'm not worried at all on this board. Even under time pressure. I mean, I'll just play OE. Like, how is he... I mean, There's no Scungili or anything here. How is he going to make up 37 points on this board? He's simply not. There's nowhere to bingo. Yeah, I mean, it just never wins for him. So yeah, kind of a weird scenario there. I think I made the right call. Let me just not lose on time here, though. So yeah, I mean, he's going to go out with Gal or Lag. I don't know. I guess I don't have time. I'm just going to let him go out and take the win. I know I could have done better for spread, but I was low on time. Scenario didn't fit. So okay, so a 424 to 393 win for us. Interesting game. I definitely want to look at that over C turn. It was a weird decision by me not to bingo, but I do still sort of maintain it was best. But I want to look at that more closely along with some of the earlier turns. So let's go back to the beginning. He plays Cutie, which looks pretty reasonable. Aquatone, of course, as a bingo. Faye looks solid. Oh, Poodoo is nice. I didn't actually. I looked in that spot for some reason. I think I saw Dup and Pud, but I didn't come up with Poodoo. I'm not convinced it's necessarily best though. I do kind of like the fact that Upland blocks up some of the right-hand side of the board. And AL on T is sort of, I would call it like a bingo or die leave. It's like if you draw some clunky one-pointers, you're really going to be saddled with them for a few turns and just not scoring enough, or really just having a hard time keeping up. So I kind of like Upland's leave better, actually, at this point. Sure, Poodoo's leave probably has a slightly higher bingo percentage, but when you don't bingo, you'll typically be in much better shape after the leave of Upland. So this is a play I should have seen. I'm not sure why I didn't generate it, but Upland I think is fine in any case. He plays Ciliated, and okay, so yeah, Admitted is also available, but yeah, I think, like I said, especially against HastyBot, I like this play. Will tend to sort of shift everything towards the right-hand side and make things a little bit more tight. So I think against this particular opponent, the playing here is fine. Interestingly, burning one of the blanks for Knitted. I was correct that it isn't good without the K, so that was a good call. It's actually better than this is actually better than other bingos, which isn't shocking. I mean, 43 keeping a blank, it's hard to fault that. But I do think that taking the 77 here is worth it. So this looks good. He plays Jeep, and yeah, Gopper. Rewarm is okay. I believe that actually takes a P though, so that would be well, it actually wouldn't be very interesting because there's no P's left. So, sort of irrelevant, but leave after Gopper of MR, clearly better than a G, so this looks good. He plays Wind. Yeah, hard to argue with that. Blonde is reasonable, but, I mean, he's down, so I don't mind keeping that open, especially he's got the letters for A, B, L, E, so that's a good suffix, and he's got a decent chance to maybe bingo there within a turn or two, so I like this play. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all to see that Hogmain ranks highest on Static. I mean, it opens an X-Bomb, it opens a lot of bingo lines. I felt I was much better off just sort of keeping things tight. There's a lot of eyes for me to draw that'll work really well with this lead and give me a great bingo chance. So I think just sort of laying low here, holding on to my lead, and waiting to see if I can bingo or if he'll open something for me, trying to make a line for himself to come back. I think this is perfectly reasonable here. Maybe Ham is worth it. I don't know. Maybe keeping the O versus the A 7 points is not quite enough. A and GR really is a lot stronger though. It's gonna, even with an A here, it's just gonna bingo so much more often when I draw an I like to this G or with an S for 7. So I think this is perfectly reasonable to play Mo here. He goes with Vermouth. That's a really nice play just to unload a bunch of his tiles and also grab a decent score. So clearly best. Yeah, maybe I got a little too fishy here with Gar. It's possible. I mean, plays here like Rang or Nar they do score 5 more points, which isn't nothing, and they do still save the S for Wind. I'm sure my bingo percentage is higher though after Gar, because now if I just draw any one of these vowels, I mean, between the Wind's hook and this A and this G, I'm in amazing position to bingo next turn. And I sort of felt like once I'm fishing, I might as well just give myself as good a bingo percentage as I can. But there is something to be said, I guess, too, for taking out this lane on top. But I also wanted to avoid a situation, because there are 3 S's unseen, and he could easily bingo with wins. I didn't want to leave a situation where I go up here, he bingos with wins, and all of a sudden I'm starved for places to bingo back. So if I'm going to fish and kind of take that route, I do want to leave 2 places, just so that if he does use one, I should still be able to use the other and stay in the game. So that was one factor that I think swayed me towards leaving all of the lines open. So I think it's questionable, but I think Gar is okay. He goes with bezels. It's a bit risky, but it's a lot of points. It's a tough call. I mean, especially after a play like Gar, you've got to assume I have an S, and I've got a really good leave. So on one hand, it's nice to block it. On the other hand, look what you're giving back. Yeah, and he sort of runs into the same predicament I was just talking about, where if he plays buys, and I bingo here with the S, then where's he coming back? Like, he's just going to be down 50, and there's going to be nowhere to bingo. So I think I would have gone bezel here, because this at least, again, leaves him some life, right? If I do bingo in either spot, if I bingo with wins, he's got the top, and if I bingo on top, he's still got wins. And he's scoring the same. So yeah, I like bezel here for him. I don't see a reason to spend your S and give back this huge line. So I think bezel would have been probably smarter for him in this case. But in any case, he goes with bezels. I get treason down. Yeah, nit looks pretty solid for him here. Don't see any merit to bin it over nit. I think this looks fine. Yeah, I did see of, but I mean, I don't think I want to keep 3 E's. I guess, I mean, there are 4 O's left, so you could make an argument that the 3 E's are actually fine here, given there's only 1 E and 4 O's. So I mean, maybe there is something to be said actually for of. I don't think I seriously considered it in the game, but it is still 3 more points, and I mean, that could come to matter. So I mean, maybe of, I don't know, 3 E's just looks really awkward still, though. I feel like Fen is still perfectly fine. Outreason is a nice play by him here. Score well, get rid of a few of his vowels. That looks quite good. Yeah, and this is where I think things started to get really interesting. So obviously I can play Kex, but I see there's 4 I's, 2 N's. There's really scary possibilities of ing bingos, like covering, or, I mean, relining. I could go on how many possibilities there are. And if he bingos there for 80 and I don't have an immediate counter bingo, then I'm in trouble. I mean, I don't have anywhere else to score. I'm going to be down 40 or 50, and he's almost certainly going to be winning this game. So I felt after Ox, not here, up here, I'm going up 32. I keep a strong leave. I keep plays like Goa or Gore on RE for 20 next turn. And where is he? He's not bingoing unless he somehow has, like, organism or something to this M or something to this L, which is pretty unlikely and would also give me back a bingo line, which I could maybe hit myself with my leave. So I feel like this has got to be correct. I just don't see myself losing in this endgame, being up 31 on this board. I really just don't see it happening. So I think Ox here is perfectly fine. He goes with Brim, which I don't know. I mean, this is why I like Ox. He's just sort of in a rough spot now, because Libs is awful. He's still going to be down 10. He's getting rid of his S. And see, look, Ox would actually save me the game, because if I didn't play Ox, he plays Brizzling for 86, and I'm probably just losing. So yeah, it turns out Ox was a very clutch play given his timing here, and now he's, yeah, I mean, what does he even do here? Like, Brim for 16, he's going to be down still another 16 with almost nowhere to bingo, and I just sort of have him walled in. And yeah, this turn was really odd. I mean, I obviously saw Oversea, and I was considering it for a while, and I very nearly just played it, but then I did realize if I allow him to bingo out with, say, in close, making abs and RE, he's going to win by, I think it was like 5, right? Because I'll be getting 69. In close would be 75, so he'll be netting 6 on that, which means he'd still be down 10, but he'll be getting 16 from my rack. It'll be a G and 6 one-pointer, so he'd actually win by 6 if he plays in close. And similarly with Lion Eyes, he'd also win by 6. And, I mean, it's not likely, of course, he'd individually have either of those, but it's conceivable. I mean, especially Lion Eyes, right? There's 3 I's, 2 N's, 2 O's. Like, those tiles are some of the more common ones left. It's you know, it's not that unlikely. And I actually wonder if he has anything possible on this side of over C, which I didn't even think about during the game. Ainsel? No, there's only one L. Maybe not quite realign. I feel like he should have something. Maybe not. Maybe not. Railing? No. Rain? Yeah, maybe he doesn't actually have anything there. He's close in any case. But yeah, there's also Niçoise I'm seeing now, and I see OISC. Like he has bingo possibilities to come back, and all of them are going to win by 6. So I just decided, like, if I play Vo, there's nothing that hooks BO. I don't think he has anything he can bingo with to this I. And I don't think I mean, if there's 9 through the GO, there's maybe 1, and I didn't even see any. I guess there's, no, Clangering would be a 10. Anyway, yeah, I don't even know if there's anything through the GO. And normally in positions like this, I'd be concerned about things like maybe him dropping a tile here and setting himself up. But I have AERS. Like, if he tries to set up his S, which would probably be the main tile he'd set up, I'm just going to use my S and block it. And he doesn't have enough tiles left to really do that for many turns. There's going to be 4 in the bag, so he fishes once, I block, and the bag will be empty, and I'll still be up 30 or 40. And on this board, I mean, a 34-point lead with a good leave is insurmountable. Like, even, I sort of figured me drawing 3 eyes is pretty much my worst-case scenario. But, like, I'm still going to be able to score. I'll have plays like KIR, I'll have plays like RE. And, I mean, what exactly is he doing to make back 34 points on this board? I mean, like I said, he can't bingo. And even with his S, I mean, what's he going to do? Play Vermouths and so? That's only like 17, and I'm going to be scoring too. There's no way he's making up 34 points in an endgame here. I just can't see it. So, and like I said, I don't have to worry about plays like Core or Care that'll open up a line because I'll just use my S. So I kind of think, I mean, unless I'm missing some remote possibility, I kind of think Vo just wins 100% of the time. And, yeah, and over C, I mean, it probably wins 95%, but it definitely doesn't win 100%, given he can bingo back. So I remain convinced that Vo is the right play. Maybe not for spread, but, I mean, even early on in the tournament, I think the losses after over C do happen enough. It wouldn't be such a freak occurrence. There are several bingos there, and I may even be missing a few that are available. I think Vo is just the right play, spread aside, because you're giving up too much win percentage by playing over C. I remain to see a situation where Vo loses if I play correctly. I think 34 points on this board. It's like there's just nowhere to make that up. There just isn't, and I don't have any scary tiles I have to worry about. There's no Qs or other Vs on C that I could get stuck with. Like, I think I just win here. I mean, if anyone sees any way for him to realistically win after Vo, I'd be very curious to see that. So if you guys have any ideas for how he could still steal the game after Vo, then definitely let me know in the comment section, or if you think this wasn't a good play. But, I mean, I'm looking at it now, like, without the pressure even, I still don't see how I ever lose here. I feel like I made the right play. Very weird to pass up a natural bingo like that, but, and another key point, guys, if there were 8 in the bag, I'd definitely just play over C, right? Because then he bingos and I'll have another play. And in a tie game with another play, I should easily at that point be able to play off enough tiles to win in the end game. So the fact that there's 7 in the bag, and exactly 7, I can't stress this enough, is really key for why I didn't play the bingo. If there's 8 or more, then I know there'll still be tiles in the bag, and I don't have to worry about not having another turn. But with there being less than 7, you really need to be careful, even when you're bingoing and you're not up that much, that if you bingo, he could actually bingo back and still steal the game from you. So I think, yeah, I mean, especially under time pressure, I very nearly hit the enter button on over C as soon as I saw it, but I'm glad I took the time and analyzed it, because I do think Vo is the better play. Turns out he would not have had anything after over C, but wasn't that far off. I mean, it was only like 1 or 2 tiles off of things like Lion Eyes. Yeah, so here, and again, I mean, what's he going to do? He can play Kier, and he did, but now, I mean, I just play OE, and I'm still up 35, and I still retain my S for any setups he might make, and I mean, he just has no way to make up any points on this board. He really doesn't. Like, I'm just going to win by 30 every single time. And that's what I did. I mean, I'm getting low on time. I did not play this endgame correctly. Well, for one, I missed Arsenic. And I think Gale and Lag are his only out here, so I should be blocking that. But by the time I sort of just processed everything and reassured myself I was winning, I think I was down to about 10 seconds, so I was like, let me just not time out. Let me just, take my win. I'll squander a couple spread points, but let's just let him go out and take a deep breath and get the win. So, yeah, Os not a good play, but that's all right. We come away with a nice win here, 424 to 393. So, very interesting game, especially that over C position. I think that one was really instructive. And yeah, definitely like I said, if anyone has any further thoughts on that position, or just as confused as to why I did that, I know it looks really weird, then definitely let me know. But I think it's a really important position. It's a good one to probably study, and maybe I'll make another video going through it in more detail and just sort of isolating that position and explaining my thoughts, because I think it's a really valuable lesson. Like, you see a bingo, you don't necessarily always just want to jump on it, even if you don't have a blank. Like, that's, you often hear if you have a blank, maybe sometimes you want to pass up the bingo, like I thought about doing earlier. But there are some cases, even when you don't have a blank, especially late in the game, where it makes sense to not bingo. So yeah, glad I made that decision, and glad I came away with a win there. So another nice tight game for us, and we are now 10-8 up in the series. So back to our winning ways, which is always nice, but we definitely had to work for this one. So great game. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we will see you very soon for game number 19. Bye-bye.